Hey guys, another beautiful day here in western Colorado. You know, places like this are a little bit less affected than more densely populated areas. As you might tell, I'm in my truck and I'm going somewhere, but nobody's here but me. I'm still social distancing, and today I'm actually headed down to Delta so I can pick up a lot of bikes, like a whole gang of them. I might have to even take 2 trips, but I guess today I'm going to see how many bikes I can actually cram into the back of this truck here. And I'm hoping I don't have to make 2 trips, but I anticipate it. So it's a pretty large pickup. I'm kind of excited about it. At this point, I don't really need a ton of more bikes, but you know, I've advertised, so I'm going to keep on doing this. Even if I get like thousands of bikes and I have a whole graveyard, I'll just have a mass recycling event one day, you know, or like I want to, you know, I just want to do more bike stuff in this area, get things ramped up and going. You know, be cool to do a swap meet, a bicycle swap meet. I know they had one in Paonia. They had to get canceled. They had some permit issues, but they have their Beers and Gears festival every year, which kicks ass. I didn't get to go last year because it got canceled, but this year definitely want to go if they have it again. And I'd like to sponsor more events like that myself. So that's the plan. Otherwise, you know, just been kicking it, getting the shop set up. You know, this whole social distancing thing isn't really that hard for me because I've kind of been doing that for the last 2 years. I hardly, you know, I don't really interact with that many people. And, you know, when I do, it's pretty low risk interactions, you know what I mean? As far as like becoming infected or spreading infection if I'm in fact carrying, you know, because like when you're young and healthy like I am, you don't really know if you're a carrier or not, because you could be asymptomatic and just be shedding out virus and shit. You have no fucking idea. You have to assume that you are. So that's why social distancing is a good practice. It's a very important practice. However, around here, to be straight up with you guys, I don't really see too many people taking it seriously. I mean, I was talking to my neighbor the other day, and he never goes anywhere, so I'm not really worried about him. But he was in Grand Junction the other day because they do go out, so they have to go to the doctor over there. And he was telling me that they went up to the Colorado National Monument to walk, thinking, hey, you know, it's usually not crowded. You can usually get out there, and there's plenty of open space. Just packed with families, kids. It's like, dude, what are you people doing? You guys need to just like chill and go home. Like, I realize Western Colorado's got a lot to offer, but you guys shouldn't all be like congregating in the same park, in the same areas. Spread out a little bit, you know, like you've got so much space out here. I mean, look at to my right here. All these hills, these adobes go on for miles. A guy could just start hiking and spend the whole day completely alone and isolated and have a great day, get tons of exercise and sunshine, and probably come back feeling a whole lot better than when they left. You know, and not everybody should be going to the same place. That's all I'm thinking, you know, like, and I know even the Colorado governor's made that clear, like avoid gatherings over 8. Not hard to do. There's plenty of places to go. If you're healthy and, you know, you got cabin fever and you can go outside, there's a few counties that are on lockdown in Colorado, but most of the rural counties are still, you know, functioning at the essential levels. You know, our gas stations, our supermarkets, medical, emergency, and basically, and even some non-essential shit like my bike shop. I'm not open, but I'm still fixing bikes. I'm still working on stuff in the shop. Still getting working on making deals with manufacturers and trying to get some high-end bikes in the shop right now. That's kind of my next goal, is to get some high-end bikes, like 1,500 and up. Used ones, you know, maybe like 5 to 10 years old. Bikes that were maybe $5,000 or $10,000 new that have depreciated a little bit, but they're still nice. I'd like to get a few of those in the shop and see if I can't get this ball rolling, because I know bikes sell around here, especially this time of year. I'm confident about that. I don't think I'm going to have a hard time selling bikes, especially if I can be competitive with my pricing. I believe I'm going to be able to do that, no problem. So I'm going to focus on the drive here, and I'll catch you guys when I get to that lot over in Delta. So peace out. All right, guys, they're all loaded up. Got another load in the back. As I suspected, it was fewer bikes than I thought, and they were all kids' bikes pretty much, so they all fit just fine. I probably have about 20 of them in there, but I could even fit more because, like I said, they're all little bikes, and that's all right. So now I'm gonna head home. We'll go unload these things, and I guess I don't have to come back to town today. I was gonna do some other stuff while I was here, but it's all good. So we'll catch you guys on the flip side when I get back to the old homestead to unload this stuff. And so here we are. It's all kids' bikes, which is kind of cool. Now there's a couple maybe adult bikes in there. I think I see one or two. But this was today's score. So let's just kind of go through what we got. Lots of kids' bikes. All of them are department store bikes, but that's fine. This one here, this one's in pretty good shape. Still has all the paint is on it, and it's not faded. The only thing that's gone is that. That's what happens out here. So probably have to buy a lot of those little things, or maybe I can get somebody around here to make those, you know what I mean? That's that'll be a good one to fix up and sell in the store, or actually give away. A lot of these are giveaway bikes. If I do sell any of them, they'll be very affordable. But a lot of these bikes, you know, are neglected, and they've been outside for a long time. The dude did mention that they were on the north side of the house, so they don't get as much sun, which is evident in some of these here. The paint is still in pretty good shape on this little Mongoose, and also the seat is in good shape. That's the other thing. Usually, this is what I expect normally when I get these kind of bikes. I expect the seats to be completely deteriorated, picked at by birds and all kinds of stuff, and rodents or whatever. But most of these seats are actually in decent shape. Dirty. There's a good one right there. This one here just probably needs some new vinyl put on it. And he also mentioned, he's like, you know, there's a lot of people out of work right now. I bet you could find somebody that would be willing to reupholster and fix a lot of these old seats that still have good foam in them. Like this one right here. That seat is pretty good, but it's got that crack. There's some wear over there. You know, if I brought that to the right person who knew a thing or two about sewing and upholstery, they would be happy, I'm sure, to reupholster a bunch of old bike seats, and then I could pay them for that, you know, instead of having to go out and buy new stuff, you know, because it's actually, you can't really get new stuff these days. Not for a little while anyway. I should say it's harder to get new stuff today because, you know, everything is just so slow right now. So that's a good one there. These will make great giveaways and swaps. One of the cool things I'm going to kind of go for as a bike shop in town is having a bike swap program. So I'm actually a trade-in dealer with BicycleBlueBook.com, and they have like their own program. Basically, the way it works for me as a dealer is customer either goes to my website or brings their bike in the shop. And we jump on the computer. Everything's done online and it's recorded. Basically, you fill out a little form with the year, make, model of the bike, maybe upgrades if it's got any significant upgrades, and then just kind of overall look at it, take a picture of it, and it generates a trade-in value that I would then give that customer that much trade-in value as in-store credit towards a new bike or an upgrade. Maybe I've got a used bike that's still worth $2,000 or whatever, and they want to upgrade to that, and that's totally fine. The only restriction is I can't use their little evaluation tool for any other purpose, which is fine. I understand that. You can actually pay. They do allow you to pay to use it, and I might end up going that route too, because I want to have other programs and be able to utilize that tool because it's a really cool tool. It allows me to see basically what the trade-in value is going to be, and also like what the peer-to-peer value is, and also even what it costs brand new, so you can really evaluate what the bike is worth and like how old it is. And bikes are a lot like cars in a way, really, as far as how they depreciate over time. Actually, these cheap bikes here may have a lower depreciation rate than the more expensive ones. When what was it? That was a long time ago. 13 years ago, I bought a brand new Fuji carbon road bike. I mean, the Team Pro model, and it was $2,500, which was on sale. I got it for probably almost near cost because I bought it from a big box store, and bought it at a time when everything was on sale, so I just got it cheap. And all kind of like all in one package deal. And even though I paid that much for it, if I actually use the evaluation tool because it's free. You can just go online and use it for your own personal use. But as a dealer, I can't use it for that reason, or they'll bar me from my participation in their program, and I don't want that. Anyway, I digress. The way it works is somebody brings in their bike, we evaluate it with their tool, and let's say the bike's worth $500 trade-in. So I'd give them $500 in store credit. And if they don't like, maybe they shop around my shop a little bit and they see a bike that's $1,500. So then they only pay $1,000 for it in the store, plus tax. And then what I do is take their bike, box it up, and ship it off to Bicycle Blue Books. And then they send me a check for the shipping and handling, as well as whatever trade-in value I gave the customer as in-store credit. So it's a good way to bring customers into the store and get them to spend a little bit of money, because they'll have basically a nice sizable down payment for whatever they want to get. And let's say they just want a different bike. Maybe they want something that's around the same price range as whatever they're bringing in, and maybe they get a $500 in-store credit and they only want a $600 bike, and that's totally fine too. Or maybe they find another $500 bike that's a little better than the one they traded in, and they walk out with a free bike. Basically, it's all the same to me. Now, as long as there's no restrictions on like how I can apply that store credit, like I'd like to ideally be able to just give them credit for anything in the store, including services, gift certificates for tours. Of course, I'm not doing any of that stuff yet, but in the future I want to be able to do that. Just starting with used bikes, but I also want to have new bikes custom built. Now, it doesn't make sense in this day and age, in 2020, to have a bike shop like mine that's kind of small with 30 or 40 brand new $7,000 mountain bikes in there. It just doesn't make sense. But those are the kind of bikes I want to have available. So instead of that, everything's just going to be online. I'll have a website. The customer will be able to go on my website, and there'll be a builder page where they can just build up a bike, component by component, frame by frame, and pick out everything they want and totally spec it out the way they want. And then it'll give them a price at the end, which will basically be the manufacturer, the MSRP. And then they'll be able to fill out a form on that page after they receive their price. They fill out the form. What that does is it sends the quote into our shop. And so what we can do then is contact the manufacturer or manufacturers for whatever components that they spec'd out. And we put it together, and we put our own quote together, and then contact the customer with a lower price than what they had online. And so that kind of builds value. They see, okay, I just built this bike up. It's going to cost $5,500. Okay, let's go for it. And so they fill out the information and send off for a quote. I get it. I put the quote together, the estimate together. I find that it's my dealer cost is only, say, $3,900 for this bike. So I go ahead and go forward with that and tell the manufacturer the order and pending status while I contact the customer. Go call the customer and say, hey, that $5,500 bike is only going to cost you $4,900. So they save $500 off what they think they were going to pay for it, and it's a deal for them. And obviously I would choose a price that would be competitive to whatever other bike shops are selling it for, because everything's online. So there is an online component to this shop that will definitely be important to my success. But it's not just going to be online. I am offering a service. The bikes will be shipped to my store and assembled there, and of course tested and finalized there in the store, warranted and serviced thereafter. And it's just I hope to be. It's going to take a while to get there, though, I think. Right now, I'm trying to get nice bikes, like not department store bikes, but like really, really nice bikes. Hey, Cotton. I've been searching Craigslist. I've written a couple emails to some people selling bikes on Craigslist and asking if they're just interested in consigning in the store. No pressure or anything like that. I don't, but also that, what am I trying to say here? Trying to get consignments in the store. And so I'm trying different avenues. I know it's going to be hard to get the manufacturers to consign bikes, but they might. There might be a few older demo bikes out there. The thing is, with this whole like slow down of planet Earth and everything like that, it really makes it difficult to go out and meet people. Right now, I should be driving around Colorado, visiting all of these bike shops that manufacture bikes here in Colorado, and giving them my information, handing out some brochures, letting them know what I do and where I'm headed as a bike shop, what my vision is. But I can't really do that, so I have to be more creative. I got to kind of figure it out online, but it shouldn't be that hard since everybody else is online right now. But this wasn't a bad little score of bikes here. But if I could just get some, 10 or 15 bikes that are worth over $500, even used. I'd like to get some that are over $1,500, like some bikes that are less than 5 years old, that were top of the line bikes, top-notch bikes. One of the ones I'm definitely going to offer in my shop is Alchemy. Those guys have been super cool. And I really like their bikes. I just like their style of their frames. They look really sleek. I've never ridden one. They're super expensive. But I intend to start working with them. And, I want to offer those bikes on my website and give them kind of a backlink, so we can sell bikes through my shop, basically. And that would just be sweet to be able to put those together. But this is where it's all starting, though. It's got to start with these guys. Got to get these guys fixed, get them in the shop, whatever's going to happen to them. I mean, about 50% of them are just going to be parted out, used for parts, tires, wheels, bearings, whatever. And then the rest will be built up, restored, things like that. Especially some of these classic ones. I get some really cool classic ones, right, Cotton Ball? Yeah. He's enjoying the springtime, new springtime weather. But this guy right here, I thought would be pretty cool. This guy's old school. This is a Sears bike. I'm not really even sure who actually made this, but it's branded as a Sears bike. It's probably a Schwinn, if I had to guess. But it's pretty well complete. The bike seat's in good shape. Actually, it has the original grips and handlebars on it. And new tires, which is cool. Usually I get the tires in this shape right here, just totally sidewall rotted, dead. But this is going to be a nice one to fix up too. This will be a full restore, repaint type job for this one right here. And who knows, you might even make a fixed gear out of it. Any of these old bikes that have horizontal dropouts in the back could make decent fixed gears. The only problem is this one does not have a square tapered bottom bracket. Single piece crank, cast crank, they suck. There's a cool one here, this Fuji. Looks like a dirt jumper almost. I'm not quite sure, it just might be a really small mountain bike frame. And you can see it came from Brown Cycles there in Grand Junction. Little kid's bike right there. That'll be a fun one to fix up. Needs everything basically. That handlebar is atrocious right there, so they can get rid of that. But a lot of cool stuff here. I've taken most of the good ones, most of my really nice bikes into the shop already. There's a couple more like that Raleigh mountain bike right there. It needs a ton of work, but it's got disc brakes and good components on it. It has a decent seat. There's a couple of Schwinns right here with good frames and bad wheels. I don't know what the hell happened to those wheels, but somebody popped out the spoke. The spokes are all busted out of the wheel on them. And they're all fucked up. I don't know if somebody ran over them or what. Where is this one here? Oh, that's a Trek. This Trek bike is going to be a good one to fix up too. This kid's Trek. Any Trek bikes, any of the good brand name bikes, you know, I'm gonna really put some energy into them and some time to make them nice. And you know, those will be my tier 1 bikes. All of these ones here, the department store. Most of the department store bikes will be like almost like sub-tier bikes, like $49.99. You know, you can come bring your own old bike in and trade it for 20 bucks off. Those are the kind of deals I'm gonna have, like, you know, for kids. You know, kids break stuff and their parents don't really like replacing things constantly. So you know, in my shop I'll have a deal where they can just basically, if they mess up their bike, go out in there and thrashing it, they bring it back in and it's just done. Not rideable, maybe not fixable. I'll give them 20 bucks off for another one. And you know, I think $50 for a rebuilt bike is pretty fair, so I think they'll sell. And then I should be able to make some money off that and start, you know, investing in more parts and new bikes and things like that. So anyway, I've been ranting long enough here. You guys have an awesome day. Stay well. And just be conscious and take time to just enjoy life. Just enjoy life. For once in humanity's history, the opportunity exists for most of us to just chill for a moment. So I would encourage you to do that. I'm always chilling here, over here in the homestead. So we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.